Hey crew, today I'm going to run you through my impressions of the Vega Surfski, which I've been given for a couple of days to paddle. I've did about 15 k's last night in a group session on the flat water, and today I've just been out on the Swan River here in Fremantle chasing some large boat washers, which I'll put a bit of a montage of me paddling the ski on the boat washers for you to see, and then you can see how much fun I had on the ski. I did have a lot of fun. This is seriously fun ski on any sort of wave that loves the bump. Apparently they come in two layups, but the only difference between them is the fact that one's painted, and this is the painted demo one that we've got. They're a beautiful looking ski, really clean lines. They just look fast. Very, very narrow. One of the issues I had was the bucket. 38, just over 38 centimeters hip to hip. So you're getting in the range of some of the skinniest K1s. So I own a 39 centimeter width K1, and that is tight. So this is even tighter. So it's interesting that they've chosen to go so narrow in the bucket, given that this is a big ski. It's 6.4 meters long. So you'd think that they would have made it for obviously the bigger paddlers. So let's have a closer look. So down the back here, you'll see this interesting looking antenna. It's actually the bung. Now this ski, you'll see, has no seams. And of course we've seen this before on skis that do have a join, but they obviously put a tape over and they fill and sand it, so it looks like it doesn't have a join. This ski is one piece, made in one piece. It's pre-preg carbon, and apparently what happens is they blow a balloon or something up inside it. I'm not quite sure of the process, but it's basically just, yeah, it's a cylinder, and this is the one hole that it has to drain. So there you go. The other interesting part of this ski is the rudder. Now it's a big beast. I really like it. It's spring returned. Now initially I wasn't convinced, but after just being out on boat washes, I can tell you it's awesome. It feels really really nice to steer. I think the rudder probably helps with stability, given it's such a big flat surface that is solid. So even if you haven't got your feet on the pedals, the rudder acts to help stabilize the boat from side to side. And also from a safety point of view, I'd imagine if you did do a rudder line, you've got the rudder that's still not going to move around, so you can continue to paddle the boat without having any steering. So I like that. The other thing you'll see that's quite different on these boats is the bungees. So of course most skis these days have bungees on the rear deck, so you can put a PFD or jacket or whatever it is underneath the rear deck, while there's bungees there for putting a bladder or something in the front, and there's enough room. I mean, I'm 6'2.5", and there's still plenty of room here for a drink bladder or whatever in the front. I'm not too sure why they've continued up here, whether it's aesthetics or not, but the other thing that I'll show you is the foot adjustment system. Now looks like they've put an epic pad in there, but there's plates. I don't know if you can see it. You can see the plate there. Now the plate can be moved along here depending on whether you want to adjust it for short or longer legs. This one's been put in for us longer leg people. Now when I was given this ski, I was told you have to really adjust these tight, and he wasn't kidding. I adjusted it what I thought was tight before last night's effort, and doing sprints you're really pushing and pulling on that foot plate, and it did move. So I'm not convinced by this method, but that's what we put in it. So basically it's you loosen it off, you can adjust the foot plate, and then you push those again. The other thing you'll notice is the rudder lines just tie up behind the pedals there. So the pedals are just loose. Again, I didn't have any problem with that. I didn't notice that there was any difference. What I loved about it, well, first of all, the looks. It's a head turner. Yeah, it's a lovely ski. Love the stability. It is a super stable boat for an elite level boat. You jump in it and straight away you just, it gives you confidence that you're going to be able to paddle it well. The cockpit, apart from the fact that it's really narrow, like it does pinch my hips, I didn't have any problems with dead leg. I've been out in an hour and a half last night, another over an hour this morning, no sign of dead leg. The hump is really low, so leg drive was able to be really good. As I've already mentioned, the rudder, I really like the rudder. And it's a 6.4 meter ski that turns. We were doing around the Cairns turns in sprints last night, and this thing was turning as quickly, or if not quicker, than some of the K1s there. So they've done their homework on as far as the amount of rocker that's needed in the front and back to help a 6.4 meter ski turn, so it turns really well. And it doesn't, given the size of the rudder, sometimes when you really push hard on the rudder to turn, the boat can really roll and want to throw you. This doesn't. Even on the waves today, I did some aggressive turning from side to side, and the boat is very confidence inspiring, I'd say the word. So what didn't I like about the ski? Well, apparently the scupper they've put in this isn't original, and they're trying to find a better scupper system. They've just put a bullet venturi, I'll show you, a bullet venturi on this one, to try and see if that's better. So you can see they've removed what was there and then just put this one in. Now I guess you could put a cork or something in there when the boat's sitting still. The other thing I don't like is that there's no handles on the boat. Look, maybe it's an aesthetics thing, maybe it's a weight thing, I don't know. It is a very light boat. It's probably in the vicinity of probably between 8.5 and 9 kilos. I put it on my scales this morning at home, come up at 8.5. We knew it was light last night when we got a marathon K1, and I lifted the marathon K1 and lifted this, and you could tell this was lighter. So it's a light boat. So it doesn't probably need to be saving too much more weight. They probably could put handles on it. And you might say, well, I'm careful with my boat, I don't need handles. But the thing that you've got to remember is that sometimes it's not you handling your boat. If you're going to an event where you drop your boat in the surf and then you run at the beach, you've got people trying to handle your boat, you've got people pulling boats out of the surf. It may be at the end of a really long downwind, you're tired. If it's blowing 25 knots in the wind, you don't want to be struggling to carry your boat. So that's just my thoughts anyway. And the only other thing was that there's at the moment there's no options for rudders. If I was buying this as my only ski, I'd want to race it and train on flat water. I'd want a weedless rudder. So there you have it. That's the Vega Surfski. Hope you enjoy this montage that I should be on after this, and thanks for listening to me rabbit on about it. Cheers.